What is up, everybody? Circon here with Q&A. I think this is number 4, maybe. I guess we'll find out. So, every week I'm gonna answer a couple of questions in like a short little video. If you want to leave any questions down below in the comment section, that'd be great, because they're from there, and only from this video will I pick the questions for next week. So yeah. Anyway, let's just get into it. Got some 4 questions here. Dark Spider asked, do I have any brothers or sisters? I have 2 brothers that are a bit older than me. They're like in their 30s. They are a lot closer together in ages than they are with me. I'm kind of like late. So, yeah, we differ about 8 years or so. So, yeah, I have 2. One is in Mexico, the other one is still in the Netherlands. But yeah, got 2 brothers. What's up? Says, what tanks for grinding credits? What are the best tanks for grinding credits in Riddle tanks? Basically any tier 8 premium. A lot of people always say, like, should I buy? And then it's like a random tier 5 or 6. Or even tier 7 premium tank. And those are almost never worth it. Buying like one tier 8 premium that you like playing is the best way to go. And the next question would be, like, Circon, what would be the best tier 8 premium? It's whatever the fuck you like, man. I mean, some people like the AK-88. I think it's a disgustingly bad tank. But, you know, if you like playing Russian heavies like the IS-3, buy an IS-3A, you know, or an IS-6. If you like playing the Egg Tiger at tier 9, or you like playing the Ferdinand for some godforsaken reason, buy the AK-88, you know, stuff like that. So buy, you know, whatever works for you. And, you know, look for tanks that are similar to the tanks you already bought or played. So if you like the SDA-1, buy the SDA-2, or vice versa. I don't know which one is the premium. But they're basically the same tanks. So you know what you're going to be in for. Buying anything that isn't tier 8 for making credits, in my opinion, is a really bad idea, because a lot of the lower tier premiums, especially tier 5 and below, do need a lot of premium shells, unfortunately. Couple of exceptions to this would be the Berlin video tanks. The Promo B, the Rudy, and the IS-2 are pretty good value. Not only for crew you get with it, but they're good tanks because they're unnerved. They're unnerved from the regular tanks. So those are pretty good options, but still, most bang for your buck would be a tier 8 that is below 30 euros. So take your pick. My recommendation for tier 8 premiums though would probably be like, I quite like the IS-6, although I will admit that I shoot a lot of Ripstar in that, because 275 Ben in today's Rebel tanks is not as good as 175 Ben 2 years ago. But limited matchmaking, brutal armor, really good DPM, so that's one of the wings I would recommend, actually, yeah. Anyway, so whatever suits you best, just don't end up buying tier 5 premiums to make credits. That never works out. Just don't. Ben Marjorie, I hope I pronounced it correctly. I'm not even sure. I hope so. Says, for Q&A, have you ever streamed on console? If not, would you ever consider doing it? No, I have not. And that's because I need like a capture card to stream the Q&As with. And I think I'm looking at an Elgato 60S. It's like the last version, I think. And the problem with the capture cards was always that it had a little bit of audio delay. And apparently the Capture S is especially made for streaming and should not have a delay, or a very little delay. And I'm looking into that because I actually kind of want to get like a PlayStation 4 and stream the Ratchet & Clank game, maybe some of the other titles that are only for the PlayStation 4. And if I do that, I'll probably end up playing the console version for like a stream or so, just to check it out. But yeah, I will not. I will probably, be able to stream from console more so for other games than World of Tanks, because World of Tanks console is literally just more of the same, with some minute differences between it and the PC version. So yeah, like if I have the possibility of streaming from a console, I'll probably do some World of Tanks. Just to check it out, just to be familiar with the product, I guess. And but more so for like stuff like Ratchet & Clank, maybe Destiny or something along those lines, really. But yeah, so I would definitely consider doing that. And the last question is from Vega Lip. Feigl? How the fuck do I pronounce this? Anyway, what tank or tanks were the most brutal / painful to third mark or to get an ace in? Looking at you, pencil souffles to a meal. Well, I'd imagine those two tanks would be pretty painful to 3 mark. The hardest tanks to get aces in are the fucking disgustingly boring tanks like E3's, the Type 4 from Japanese heavies. Tanks that are actually bad, but if you get a really bad enemy team, you can have monstrous games in. If you actually manage to find a team that doesn't know how to deal with an E3, which is pretty rare, mind you, you can have sickeningly good games in those things. But finding those teams is very hard. And when I played the E3, just to get an ace in it and to leave it to fucking rust in the garage, I actually got a second gun mark to like 86, maybe even 87% before getting an ace tanker in that tank. So that means I've been consistently playing well in that tank, but I'm just lacking that once in a lifetime game that always shows up on YouTube. T95 is another one of these things. T95 is fucking awful, but the one good game you will have in it will be the one that you will show on YouTube. And everybody's gonna be like, oh, T95 is so good. But it sucks. Absolutely sucks. Just like the E3, just like the Type 4 Heavy, just like the mouse. Sure, you can have a once in a lifetime good game in it with like 10,000 damage and 15,000 block, blah blah blah. And that's what makes them the hard to ace, because everybody will have the game once in a lifetime, which makes the ace requirements pretty high. Not to mention tier 10 XP usually is a bit low compared to like tier 9 base XP. So yeah, those are the most painful fucking tanks to ever third mark. That's why I never bought a T95 or a T28. Fuck those tanks. I free XP right past them just to get the E3. So yeah, those are really fucking painful to get aces in. For third marks, however, I'd imagine that those same tanks are relatively easy, because there's a lot of fucking Muppets playing it. And like I said, I got a second mark in E3 just trying to get an ace. I did ace it in the end, by the way. But again, a really lucky match on, I think it was Windstorm, where I managed to do like 9,000 damage or something. But more so through luck of the enemies being complete fucking asshats than skilled. Like with slow tanks and quote unquote armor, you need luck more than skill in those things. And playing like medium tanks, you can like kind of form your own luck, and you can do a lot of things to influence the battle. You cannot influence the battle that much in an E3 and a mouse. It's fucking straightforward, and if it works really well, but most of the time it will never work. Anyway, third marking, what's the most brutal / painful ones? Those are, I think the tier 9 mediums. The tier 9 mediums is a really competitive tier, because tier 9 is, a fucking joy to play. It's probably the one tier that will almost always give you, relatively good games throughout the night. I think they're the most competitive. Tier 10 mediums as well, but I kind of feel like tier 9 mediums is the craziest tier, because I feel like you almost need more damage and XP than you would need in tier 10, to be honest. So one of the hardest aces I've done is probably the AMX 30 at tier 9. I did that one, well, I wouldn't say quick, but relatively quickly. And so there was a lot of Unicums and stuff playing that tank. And it's one of the most powerful tier 9s. So that was probably the hardest I've done. I don't even know how many third marks I got. I don't think I have that many. I have like 25 to 30 or so. I haven't really been third marking as much as some other people have. But yeah, I think it's the AMX 30 was the most brutal one. I mean, it wasn't brutal to play. It's a joy to play, but it's a highly competitive third mark to get. So probably tier 9 and tier 10 medium tanks are probably the most brutal to third mark, to be honest. And for tier 9, I've done a lot of mediums. I'm trying to get the Type 61 right now to third mark that one, but I've done... Wait, let me open up thanks to GG real quick. Let's just see here. So tier 9 mediums. So I've done the AMX 30. I've done the E50, I've done the PTA, I've done the Patton, the T54. Yeah, I've done all of those. And I got 2 marks on the Centurion, the Object 430, the T55A, the Type 61, and the Skoda. Those are all 2 marks. And then I have no mark or 1 mark on the E1 and the WZ120. And I'm trying to just get third mark on all the tier 9 mediums because, you know, those are the most fun. I'm actually kind of playing the Lorraine lately, but that's more so for the crew because it's going to get replaced by a Batchat at tier 9, the 25 TAP. But I actually managed to get a gun mark. I might be able to get 2 before the patch hits, I'm not sure. But yeah, mostly playing it because I have the women crew from the personal missions, and I'm trying to skill those up. So yeah, hoping to get that a good crew for the Batchat. I'm hoping the Batchat will get a slight buff. I really don't hope the 200 pen gun is the final solution to that tank, but hey. But yeah, hope that answers your question. Like I said in the beginning of the video, if you have any questions for me, leave them in the video comment section of this video, because from this video is where I get my questions from to answer in the next Q&A, which I release every Tuesday now. I was planning on Mondays, but I think Tuesdays is a better day, because on Monday I play World of Tanks, so it's better for me to upload a World of Tanks video, so I'll get more people to watch the stream. And on Tuesday I'm playing whatever, so Q&A is better. So anyway, thank you for watching. Peace out, boys.